You've got to understand something today, my friend. You are a vessel of purpose. But as you walk this journey, not everyone is meant to see every part of your story. Not everyone has the capacity to handle your truth. When you are walking through the storms of life, it's easy to feel like the weight of the world is on your shoulders. You want to share your pain, your struggles, and your burdens, hoping that by opening up, you might find relief. But I want you to understand something crucial today. Your personal struggles are your fuel for growth, but they are not meant to be freely shared with just anyone. There is a powerful lesson in learning to protect your vulnerabilities and, in many cases, keeping your struggles to yourself, at least until you find the right people who can handle them with care. Think about it this way. Just as the potter hides the clay in the darkness of the wheel before he begins to shape it, your struggles are shaping you in ways that the world cannot yet see. The heat of the fire, the pressure of the molding, the weight of the moments when you feel like you're at your breaking point, all of that is creating something beautiful. Your journey of struggle is an integral part of your transformation. You might not see it right now, but in the future, that same struggle will serve as the foundation for your greatest victories. But here's the reality. Not everyone is equipped to hold the weight of your pain. We live in a world where people are quick to judge, criticize, or offer advice, sometimes even when it's not needed. Sharing your struggles with the wrong people can expose you to criticism that only adds to your burden. You've been through so much already, and the last thing you need is someone telling you what you should have done differently, or worse, making you feel weak for feeling the way you do. Some people will never understand your journey because they haven't walked in your shoes. They may offer sympathy, but they can't offer empathy, and that's the difference between someone who will build you up and someone who will tear you down. There is also the fact that sometimes when you share your struggles with the wrong people, it opens the door to manipulation. Vulnerability, while powerful and beautiful, can be weaponized by those who don't have your best interest at heart. There are those who will hear your pain and use it against you, whether intentionally or not. Some may even use your struggles to pit you against others, creating division and causing further damage. The truth is, the world can be a cold place, and sharing too much of your personal battles can make you more susceptible to manipulation and harm. Now, I'm not saying that you should carry your burdens in isolation or never confide in anyone. Absolutely not. There is power in sharing with the right people, those who have the capacity to walk alongside you in your pain, those who will lift you up rather than pull you down. But that circle is small, it is sacred. These are the people who understand the importance of your struggle, who won't judge you but will walk with you through it. These are the people who will speak life into you when all you can see is darkness, who will remind you of your strength when you've forgotten how to believe in yourself. Sometimes we feel the pressure to share our struggles because we fear being misunderstood, or we think that by opening up we'll find comfort. But the truth is, not every struggle is meant to be shared with the masses. Some of your pain is only meant to be understood in the secret place, where only you and God can process it. There is healing that happens in the quiet moments when you are alone with your thoughts, alone with your heartache, and alone with your faith. It is in those moments that your resilience is being built, even though you might not feel it. I want to challenge you today. When you feel the urge to share your struggles, ask yourself, who am I sharing this with and why? Is this person someone who has earned the right to walk into my pain with me? Are they trustworthy? Are they someone who will understand and offer support, or someone who will simply add to the noise? Protecting your vulnerability is not about being closed off or keeping people at a distance. It's about being intentional with who you allow into your most intimate spaces. Not everyone is equipped to handle the weight of your struggles, and that's okay. You don't have to carry the burden of explaining your pain to those who don't have the capacity to carry it with you. Let me also remind you of something crucial. Your struggle is not your identity. Too often, We define ourselves by the challenges we face. We wear our pain as a badge, and it becomes the lens through which we see the world. But I want you to hear this clearly today. Your struggles are not who you are. They are simply a part of your story. They may shape you, but they do not define you, and because they do not define you, they are not something you need to share with everyone you meet. Your story is a powerful one, but there are chapters of it that are not meant for everyone's eyes. In conclusion, protecting your struggles is a form of self-care and wisdom. It doesn't mean you're weak or hiding from the world. It means you are walking in discernment. You are choosing to guard your heart and your peace, and only sharing your pain with those who have earned the privilege of walking with you through it. Your struggles are not for everyone's consumption, but for your transformation. So guard them, protect them, and allow yourself the space to heal in your own time, without the pressure of seeking validation from others. Because when the time is right, your story will unfold in ways that inspire and uplift others. But until then, protect your struggle. It's shaping you into the person you were always meant to become. There is a sacredness to your vision, a divine purpose that has been planted in your heart. But let me tell you something crucial today. Not everyone is meant to see the full picture of your dream in its infancy. There is a power in keeping your vision close to your heart, in protecting it like a seed in the soil, until it's time for it to grow. When you share your vision too early with the wrong people, you expose yourself to doubt, negativity, and criticism. Not everyone will understand the magnitude of your dream, and not everyone will have the capacity to support it. You see, your vision is a gift, a unique blueprint that has been carefully designed for you and only you. It is the roadmap to your destiny, and as much as you want to share your excitement with others, you must recognize that the world is not always ready to receive it. There are people who will try to impose their own limitations on your vision, projecting their fears and doubts onto you. Some will tell you that it's impossible, or that it's too big for someone like you. But here's the truth. What God has placed in you is too big for small minds to comprehend. It's not meant to fit into the confines of their understanding. Your vision is not meant to be boxed in by the limitations of others. It is meant to break barriers, to challenge the status quo, and to go beyond the realm of what seems possible. Think about how a seed grows. It starts small, hidden beneath the soil, where it is protected from the elements and from the eyes of those who might not understand its potential. If you expose a seed to the light too soon, it won't be able to grow properly. It needs time, space, and the right conditions to develop into something strong and mighty. Your vision is the same way. It needs time to take root, to grow strong in the unseen places, before it can be shared with the world. If you tell everyone too soon, you risk exposing it to criticism that can stunt its growth. You also risk putting unnecessary pressure on yourself to perform before you're truly ready. Sometimes you need to wait for the right season, the right moment, before sharing your vision with others. And when you do share it, it needs to be with those who will support you, those who will cheer you on and encourage you, not those who will try to tear it down. There is also the fact that not everyone can handle the magnitude of your dreams. Some people will never see the full picture because they're too stuck in their own limitations. Their reality is confined by their fears, their past experiences, and their doubts. So when you share your vision with them, they might inadvertently project their limitations onto you. They might not be intentionally trying to harm your dream, but their words and actions can plant seeds of doubt in your heart. And that doubt, if allowed to take root, can begin to erode your confidence and belief in your vision. You must be wise enough to discern when to speak about your dream and when to remain silent. Not every conversation is the right environment for discussing your deepest desires. I know it's tempting to share your excitement, to tell people about the dreams you have for your future. You want to feel understood, to have others affirm your vision, to have someone tell you, yes, you can do it. But in reality, Not everyone is in a position to encourage your growth. Some people may not be in a place where they can celebrate your success, and instead, they will feel threatened by it. They may say things that try to make you doubt your own abilities, or they may not give you the support you need to take the next steps forward. In some cases, they may even try to sabotage your progress, whether consciously or unconsciously. You have to protect your vision from these negative influences. There's another truth to consider. Your vision is also part of your calling. It is a divine assignment that requires a certain level of trust. God does not give his plans for your life to everyone. Just as he reveals pieces of his will for you, he also expects you to be a good steward of it. Being a good steward of your vision means protecting it, keeping it safe from those who may not understand, from those who might try to derail you. Not everyone has the capacity to understand your calling. It's a heavy responsibility, and it's not meant to be shared too openly with those who might not recognize the weight of what you're carrying. You must protect your calling as you would protect your most precious treasure. And when the time is right, when your vision has grown strong and the foundation has been laid, you'll find the courage to share it with others. But even then, you must be discerning. Only share your vision with those who will add value to it, those who will help you bring it to fruition. Surround yourself with people who will lift you up, who will speak life into your vision, and who will help you navigate the obstacles you face. Your circle of support must be filled with people who can see the potential of your vision, even when it's still in the early stages. Remember, there's a reason why a diamond is cut and polished before it is put on display. It starts as a rough stone hidden deep within the earth, waiting for the right moment to emerge. Your vision is the same. It may begin as a small idea, something only you can see, but it is destined for greatness. Don't rush the process. Don't allow anyone to rush your timing. Your vision is meant for you, and it will unfold at the perfect time, when you are ready, and when the world is ready to receive it. Trust in the process, protect the vision, and don't let the wrong voices hinder what God has placed inside of you. Keep that vision close, nurture it, and when the time is right, let it shine. Money is often seen as a measure of success, but it is much more than just a tool for survival or luxury. It's a reflection of your decisions, your values, and how you navigate the world. Your financial situation is personal, and there are certain aspects of it that should never be shared with others. There is wisdom in understanding that the more open you are about your financial matters, the more vulnerable you make yourself to unwanted influences and potential harm. This is not about hiding wealth or being secretive for the sake of secrecy. It's about protecting your peace, your security, and your future. Let's start with a simple truth. Money is a magnet for opinions. Everyone seems to have something to say about it, whether it's how you should earn it, save it, or spend it. The moment you share your financial situation, whether you're doing well or struggling, you open the door to a flood of unsolicited advice, comparisons, and judgments. People, even those closest to you, will often look at your financial status through their own lens, through their experiences, insecurities, and expectations. When you share too much about your finances, you risk inviting negative energy into your life. Those who don't understand your journey may impose their own fears and limiting beliefs on you, potentially holding you back or influencing you in ways that don't align with your true purpose. Additionally, when you expose too much about your financial situation, you risk creating unnecessary pressure. Whether you're doing well or facing challenges, the more others know, the more they might expect from you. If you're successful, people may feel entitled to ask for help, loans, or even the appearance of your wealth, without understanding the sacrifices or hard work behind it. On the flip side, if you're struggling, you may face pity or condescension that only adds to your burdens. Your financial situation is a reflection of your journey, and it is no one's business to evaluate it or place demands on it. Moreover, sharing your financial situation opens you up to envy and jealousy. People, even those who love you, can feel envious of your success or frustrated by their own financial struggles, and this can create tension in your relationships. The truth is, people's perceptions of wealth are often colored by their own unmet needs or desires. When someone hears that you're doing well financially, it can trigger resentment, even if they don't say it out loud. It can lead to unhealthy competition, comparisons, and unrealistic expectations, none of which help you thrive. In some cases, envy can even cause people to distance themselves from you or undermine your efforts, consciously or unconsciously. Your financial success, no matter how hard earned, is yours to manage, and it's important to guard it from these negative influences. Another critical point to consider is that sharing your financial status too openly may expose you to manipulation. Some people will look at your wealth and see it as an opportunity to take advantage of your kindness or generosity. They may try to convince you that they deserve your help, even if it's not in your best interest to give. This is especially true if you have a heart for giving or if you've been blessed with more than others. While it is noble to help those in need, you have to be wise in how you share your resources. There are people who will exploit your generosity, and you need to know how to protect yourself from being manipulated. Not everyone who comes to you with a financial need is genuine, and the more open you are about your wealth, the more likely you are to attract individuals who will take advantage of your good nature. Furthermore, financial matters are highly personal, and they involve not only your hard work, but also your values, goals, and aspirations. Sharing too much about your finances can lead to others making assumptions about your choices, your priorities, or even your character. The way you manage your money is a reflection of your own journey, and it's deeply tied to your identity. Your financial choices may not always make sense to others, and that's okay. They don't have to. There is no one size fits all approach to managing wealth, and your path may be different from someone else's. That's why you must have the courage to make decisions based on your own values and not be swayed by external opinions. If you share too much, you risk letting the world dictate how you should use your resources, when you should save, and when you should give, potentially taking you off your own path. And lastly, when you keep your financial situation private, you create space for peace of mind and stability. Money can be a source of stress, whether it's due to uncertainty, scarcity, or even the pressure of having too much to manage. When you don't openly share the details of your finances, you are in control of how much influence others have over your financial peace. You maintain autonomy over your decisions, and you remove external pressures that might cloud your judgment. It's one thing to seek financial advice or guidance from trusted professionals or mentors, but it's quite another to let the world in on every detail of your financial life. Protecting your financial privacy gives you the freedom to make decisions that align with your purpose, your values, and your long-term vision. To sum it all up, your financial situation is personal, and it deserves to be protected. Whether you are thriving or struggling, the way you manage and navigate your finances is your responsibility, and you do not owe anyone the right to evaluate it or impose expectations on it. Sharing too much about your finances opens you up to judgment, manipulation, and unnecessary pressure, none of which will serve your purpose. Your financial journey is yours and yours alone, and as such, it deserves the privacy and respect it needs to grow, evolve, and reach its full potential. Protect your peace, protect your resources, and protect your future by keeping the details of your financial situation to yourself. unless you trust those who can truly add value to your growth. Relationships are one of the most sacred and impactful aspects of our lives. Whether with family, friends, or a significant other, the connections we build with others can define our experience in the world. However, there is an important principle we must understand. Some aspects of our relationships should never be shared with others, no matter how close they are to us. While it's natural to want to talk about the people we love and care about, there are moments and details that should remain private to protect the integrity of those relationships and ensure that they thrive. One of the main reasons why we must be careful about sharing too much of our relationship matters is the simple fact that relationships are complex. What you might see as a minor disagreement or a moment of frustration could be blown out of proportion when shared with the wrong person. There is always the risk that, when others hear about the personal challenges you're facing, they may misinterpret or exaggerate the situation. Even well-meaning people can cause harm by offering advice or opinions that don't fit the unique dynamic of your relationship. They may not understand the full context, the underlying emotions, or the history that has led to the moment you are experiencing. And as much as we want validation or support, sometimes the best thing for our relationships is to keep certain things between the parties directly involved. Another reason to be cautious about sharing relationship details is the reality of judgment. We live in a world where people are quick to offer opinions, and in many cases, these opinions are based on their own experiences or biases. When you share your personal relationship challenges, you open yourself up to the potential for judgment, criticism, and even unwanted advice. People will tell you what they would do in your shoes, often without fully understanding the dynamic or history of your relationship. What may seem like a simple issue to an outsider could be much more layered and nuanced. It's easy for someone who isn't emotionally involved to say, well, if I were you, I would just leave, or you shouldn't have to deal with that. But what happens when the relationship is strong despite its challenges? What happens when the solution isn't as simple as it may seem? You don't want to invite others into the sacred space of your relationship to pass judgment or give shallow advice. Relationships are sacred, and some things should stay private because not everyone will understand the bond you share with the people you love. Family dynamics, romantic partnerships, or close friendships can have a deep, sometimes complicated foundation. Not everyone is meant to understand the history or nuances of your connection. What may be a meaningful act of kindness or a moment of vulnerability to you might be seen as a weakness or a red flag by someone who doesn't understand the depth of your relationship. When you share these intimate details with the wrong people, you risk allowing their limited perspective to distort the way you view your relationship. And this distortion can create unnecessary tension, mistrust, or confusion. Additionally, there's an element of respect in relationships that demands privacy. When we share private details about our relationships, we are often sharing pieces of someone else's life without their consent. Whether it's a disagreement you've had with a family member, a personal struggle with your partner, or a sensitive topic you've discussed with a friend, the moment you share that information, you are putting someone else's personal life in the spotlight. This can violate their trust and make them feel exposed, betrayed, or unsupported. Relationships thrive on mutual respect and trust, and when we overshare details, especially those that may involve others in our circle, we risk damaging that trust and creating unnecessary conflict. Moreover, relationships, by their nature, require boundaries. When you share everything with everyone, you erode those boundaries. You open the door for others to become overly involved in your personal life, and that can strain your relationships in unforeseen ways. The more you involve outsiders, the less sacred your bond becomes. The intimacy that once existed between two people becomes diluted when others are constantly stepping in with their opinions, judgments, or interference. There's something deeply powerful about having a private space in your life, a sanctuary where only those directly involved can enter. Maintaining boundaries in relationships is not about secrecy. It's about preserving the intimacy and trust that are the foundation of healthy connections. When we share too much about our relationships, we also risk creating divisions. Not everyone will agree with the decisions you make, the way you handle conflict, or the choices you've made in your relationships. And that's okay. But when you share these intimate details with people who are not a part of your relationship, you open the door to division. Others may take sides, offering their support for one person over another, and this can create tension and even alienate you from people who might not fully understand your situation. When this happens, you might feel torn between your loyalty to the person you love and the opinions of those outside the relationship. The more people you let into your personal matters, the more complicated it becomes to navigate the situation with peace of mind. Ultimately, the power of a relationship lies in the connection between the people involved, and that connection thrives when it is respected, protected, and kept private. You have to trust that some things are meant to remain between the two people who share the bond, and sometimes even the wisdom of silence is more valuable than sharing. The more you protect the privacy of your relationships, the more space you create for them to grow, heal, and strengthen. So, moving forward, be discerning. When you face challenges in your relationships, resist the urge to share every detail with the world. Trust in the strength of the bond you share with others, and allow that trust to guide you in what you choose to disclose. Share only with those who have proven that they can handle the gravity of your situation without judgment, and who will uplift and support your relationship rather than cause division or doubt. By protecting the privacy of your relationships, you are safeguarding their strength and ensuring that they remain sacred, undisturbed, and able to thrive. There is a profound power in silence, a wisdom that comes with knowing when to speak and when to remain quiet. Your struggles, your challenges, and your personal battles are not meant to be shared with everyone. In a world where vulnerability is often equated with sharing every hardship you face, there is a strength in choosing what to reveal and what to keep to yourself. The reason for this is simple. Not everyone will understand the depths of your struggles, and not everyone deserves to witness your pain. Sometimes the most profound thing you can do is protect your inner world by choosing not to share every struggle with those around you. One of the most powerful reasons to guard your personal struggles is because of the energy they can invoke. When we share our pain, we invite others to respond to it, but not everyone will respond with empathy or support. Some may respond with judgment, condescension, or even gossip. There are people who may not fully comprehend your situation, and their reaction to your struggles could unintentionally make things worse. For example, someone who has never faced the same level of hardship may minimize your pain, or worse. They may compare your struggles to theirs in a way that makes you feel invalidated. Sharing your struggles too freely opens the door to unsolicited advice and judgments that can only serve to magnify your discomfort. Your struggles are deeply personal, and while you may need support and understanding, it's crucial to remember that the people around you may not have the emotional capacity to handle your pain. When you open up about your struggles, you risk putting yourself in a vulnerable position where others may take advantage of your openness. Some may not know how to offer the kind of support you need, and others may see your vulnerability as a way to manipulate or control the situation. In such instances, your openness can lead to exploitation rather than healing. By keeping your struggles to yourself or sharing them only with trusted individuals, you protect not just your heart, but also your peace of mind. Moreover, your struggles can be used against you if shared with the wrong people. There's an unfortunate truth that exists in many relationships. Some people are not equipped with the maturity or respect to handle what you confide in them. What you share in confidence may be used as a weapon later on, whether it's in an argument, a disagreement, or a moment of betrayal. When someone knows your weaknesses, your fears, or your vulnerabilities, they may weaponize that information to hurt you in a way that you never expected. This is why it's so important to exercise discretion and share your personal struggles only with those who have earned the right to hear them. Those who truly care for you and respect you will never use your pain against you. They will hold it with the care and consideration it deserves. It's also important to recognize that your struggles are part of your personal growth. The challenges you face are meant to teach you something, to shape your character, and to build your resilience. Not every lesson needs to be shared with others for validation or sympathy. Sometimes, the process of working through a challenge is just as important as the outcome. When you share too much about your struggles, you risk focusing too much on the pain instead of the lessons it is meant to teach you. You can become so consumed by seeking validation or reassurance from others that you miss the growth opportunities embedded in your struggle. There's power in working through adversity on your own, finding your strength and rising from the ashes with the wisdom that only comes from experience. By keeping your struggles to yourself, you also protect your energy. The more you share your difficulties with others, the more energy you give away, and sometimes this energy is not reciprocated. You may find yourself drained by the responses of others who can't offer you the support or understanding you need. People who haven't walked in your shoes will often struggle to provide the insight or empathy that could genuinely help you heal. The process of healing requires energy, focus, and internal work, and when too many people are involved in your journey, it can dilute that process. By choosing not to share every detail of your struggles, you give yourself the space and energy to heal in a way that is sufficient and focused. Another reason to keep your struggles private is that your battle is not always for the eyes of others. There's a certain dignity in facing challenges with quiet strength. Not every moment of suffering is meant to be seen or known by others. Sometimes your personal struggle is a part of your own journey, one that is meant to teach you endurance, patience, and faith. When you share every detail of your struggle, you risk losing that sense of privacy and dignity. The struggle you face may not be for public consumption, and it's okay to fight in silence. The strength and resilience you develop through facing your challenges alone will serve you better in the long run than if you seek constant validation or sympathy from others. It's also critical to understand that the people you share your struggles with may not be in the right place to support you in the way that you need. Not everyone is equipped to handle emotional or mental struggles, and in sharing your personal battles with the wrong people, you may unintentionally create more harm. Someone who is emotionally unstable may not be able to offer the stability you need, and someone who is overly focused on their own issues may not have the capacity to truly listen or offer meaningful support. You have to be selective about who you allow into your process, because their lack of understanding or emotional maturity could leave you feeling worse than before. Lastly, by keeping your struggles to yourself, you retain control over your narrative. When you share too much, you risk losing the ability to control the story of your struggle. Others may begin to form opinions about your situation, and those opinions may be based on limited or inaccurate information. By choosing when and how to share your difficulties, you maintain the power to shape how your journey is understood. You decide when it's the right time to speak, and when it's the right time to remain silent. In conclusion, not every struggle needs to be shared with the world. There is wisdom in keeping certain parts of your journey to yourself, for your own protection and growth. The people who genuinely care about you will offer support without the need for you to expose every detail of your pain. By keeping your struggles private, you protect your emotional well-being, your energy, and your dignity. and ultimately you give yourself the space to heal, grow, and emerge stronger from the challenges you face. In conclusion, there are certain aspects of our lives that should remain private, not out of secrecy or shame, but out of wisdom and respect for ourselves and for those around us. The things we choose to share and the things we choose to keep to ourselves hold the power to shape our relationships, our peace of mind, and our personal growth. Your dreams, your struggles, your finances, your relationships, and your personal challenges are precious and deeply personal. They are not meant to be laid bare for everyone to judge, manipulate, or influence. It is essential to know when to share, when to remain silent, and when to protect the sanctity of your journey. The power to choose what to share, and more importantly, what not to share, is a form of strength. It is a reflection of your self-awareness, your boundaries, and your commitment to preserving your inner peace. By protecting your privacy, you protect the purity of your dreams, the strength of your relationships, and the integrity of your journey. Trust yourself enough to know that not everyone deserves access to your most intimate details, and that your story is one that you are meant to tell on your terms. As you move forward, remember that privacy is not about hiding. It's about empowering yourself to maintain control over your life and your narrative. It's about allowing your peace, your resilience, and your wisdom to guide you through life's challenges, without the interference of others who do not have your best interest at heart. So, guard your heart, protect your peace, and keep those things that truly matter close to you, for they are the very things that will help you build the life you're destined for.